He wasn't speeding. He wasn't swerving. Just a young man driving home from work. But when the flashing lights filled his rearview mirror, his stomach dropped. Not because he was guilty, but because he wasn't. What began as a simple traffic stop turned into something much darker. Something that would shatter his future. How could obeying the law end in tragedy? And why, in 2025, does the color of your skin still decide your fate? Marcus James was 26 years old, a nursing student working part-time at a community clinic. He lived in a quiet suburb just outside the city, far from where stories of violence usually made the news. Every day he followed a routine that kept him grounded. Work, study, call his mom, sleep, repeat. He wasn't rich, famous, or controversial. Just a young man with dreams and discipline. That night he was exhausted. It had been a long shift and he had a pharmacology test the next morning. Driving his old Honda Civic down the same back road he'd taken hundreds of times, he was thinking about coffee, not conflict. His playlist hummed low, barely audible. The streets were empty, peaceful, predictable, until they weren't. In the distance, headlights grew brighter. Blue and red lights burst into the night. A siren cut through the quiet. Marcus instinctively pulled over, confused but compliant. His registration was valid. His tail lights worked. He wasn't even going 10 over the limit. But something about the way the patrol car screeched to a stop behind him made his pulse quicken. 2 officers stepped out. No rush, no urgency, just a long, calculating pause. One of them rested his hand on his belt, not near his radio, near his gun. Marcus kept his hands on the wheel. 10 and 2, just like his mother taught him. But inside, a quiet dread began to grow. Because Marcus had done everything right his whole life. And yet, he knew this moment wasn't about right or wrong. Marcus rolled down his window slowly. His heart beat like a warning drum in his chest. "Good evening, officers," he said, forcing calm into his voice. The first officer didn't respond. The second one shined a flashlight into the car, then directly into Marcus's face, as if looking for a reason. "License and registration." Marcus handed them over without hesitation. Still no explanation. The officer walked back to the cruiser without a word. The other one stayed. He paced slowly alongside the car, peering through the back window, frowning at the folded scrubs in the passenger seat, the stethoscope hanging from the rearview mirror. Then came the question, "Where are you coming from?" Marcus answered, politely, "Work. Community health clinic." "Sure you're not out here dealing? These roads are known for that." His jaw tightened. He'd heard this before, on the news, in conversations in hushed tones. But now he was living it. The accusation didn't come from evidence. It came from skin. Another long pause. Another flashlight sweep. "Step out of the vehicle." Marcus hesitated. Just for a second. Not out of defiance, but out of fear. He'd seen the stories. He knew hesitation could be fatal, but so could compliance. He stepped out. Hands on the hood. He did as told. No resistance. Still no explanation. Then came the search. No warrant. No probable cause. Just rough hands tearing through his car, tossing medical books, empty food wrappers, and his backpack onto the ground. His ID photo fluttered out, a picture of him in his student badge, smiling. The officers found nothing, because there was nothing to find. But it didn't matter. One of them looked disappointed, as if injustice needed to be justified. And then came the radio call. Suspicious vehicle cleared. No charges. They left without apology, without explanation, without looking back. Marcus stood there, on the side of the road, alone, broken, humiliated. His belongings scattered. His sense of safety gone. He picked up his stethoscope last. It was supposed to help him save lives. Now he wondered if it could ever save his own. 2 weeks later, Marcus sat in a student lounge, scrolling through his phone. He'd posted about the incident carefully, respectfully. No names, just the truth, the humiliation, the fear, the quiet violence of being seen as a threat simply for existing. The post went viral. Hundreds of comments poured in, some supportive, some skeptical, some outright hateful. Bet he left something out. Should have complied faster. Typical race card. But then came a message. From a girl named Kayla. My brother was stopped in the same spot last year, she wrote. He didn't make it home. Marcus froze. His fingers trembled as he typed back. Her brother's name wasn't in the news. There was no public outrage. Just another young black man who vanished from headlines and hearts. Kayla sent a photo. Her brother's smile looked eerily like Marcus's. Same age. Same road. Same silence from the system. That's when Marcus realized what happened to him wasn't a mistake. It was a pattern. And it wasn't going to stop unless someone made noise. He started documenting other stories, gathering them, sharing them, building a digital memorial of those silenced not by bullets alone, but by disbelief, dismissal, and neglect. He didn't know if it would change the world. But he knew this. Silence was no longer an option. Bell, if stories like this matter to you, don't just scroll. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe to our channel. Drop a comment. Share your voice. You're not just watching a story, you're becoming part of a movement. Marcus never looked at the road the same way again. Every flashing light, every siren in the distance. It all brought the memory back. That night didn't leave a bruise, but it left a scar. A silent, unseen weight he carried every time he got behind the wheel, every time he saw a police badge, every time he looked in the mirror and was reminded. He fit a description that could get him killed. But he didn't let the story end there. He graduated, became a registered nurse, and outside the hospital halls he kept fighting, in classrooms, in town halls, in digital spaces. He helped train law enforcement on unconscious bias. He gave talks at schools, reminding young black students that their lives matter, even when the world tries to say otherwise. Marcus turned pain into purpose. And yet, no matter how much progress he saw, he couldn't shake one question. How many others won't be believed because their story didn't go viral? How many names won't trend because no one hit record? Because the truth is, racism doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. It hides in policies, in assumptions, in the quiet decisions made behind closed doors. Marcus lived to tell his story. Others didn't get that chance. And so, we ask you now, if this could happen to someone doing everything right, what does that say about the system? And more importantly, what are we willing to do to change it? Movie camera, if this story moved you, don't let it stop here. Bell, subscribe. Speech balloon, comment. Loudspeaker, share. Let's make sure the world doesn't forget.